The opioid crisis has been declared a national health emergency by President Trump. However, it seems many people continue to underestimate the dangers of prescription drug addictions. The American Society of Addiction Medicine says in 2012, 259 million prescriptions were written for opioids. That is more than enough to give every American adult their own bottle of pills. Abusing prescription drugs often turns into the need for something more. That reality is all too real for 24-year-old Julia Farron, whose addiction to painkillers escalated to something she never imagined.
You know, I was one of those addicts that was like, when I first started smoking pot, I was like, well, I'll never do pills. I'll never become a pillhead. And then I was like, I did the pills, and then I was like, well, I'll never do meth or heroin. I'm not a junkie. And I ended up doing all the things I said I wouldn't do.
4 in 5 new heroin users started with abusing painkillers. Luckily for Julia, she broke her addiction and now has a loving family.
It's like you get this image in your head of like what a heroin addict is, and you think of this just homeless guy under a bridge in a trench coat or something, and it's really not.
Fireman and CNA Justin Osted sees the consequences of opioid overdoses and the progression to the next stages of drug abuse frequently in his field.
You see a lot of the prescription drug abuse, a lot more, that eventually leads to worse things. Prescribed drugs are just, if not sometimes more dangerous than street drugs. Some doctors do feel some pressure from drug reps and pharmacy reps to push a product.
Opioids are an issue on college campuses. It's easy for young people to want a quick fix for their stress and anxiety. However, no one is immune to the addictive properties of prescription painkillers.
So I think it's important for everyone to be educated because, you know, you can say, oh, well, that'll never happen to me or I'll never do that, but it can, and even if it's not you, it could be your family member or a good friend, and, you know, everyone should know how to deal with it.
America has found itself in the worst drug crisis in our history. There is no one way to fix the opioid epidemic, but we must know the consequences of misusing a prescription pill just once. If we're to save lives, we must first be informed.